talking live from the Meade County Fair. We have lost Steve's voice here at the fair somewhere. We're not quite sure. He's got we're working on our communication now. Now that because I don't do sign language at all, other than some the alphabet.
I do some.
You do some?
I've got several this week.
I think this is but I don't know if that's. I only got that from Meet the Parents. So I mean no, I mean it's amazing. It's one of those things that the fair does to you every year.
Dust, a lot of hours, fatigue,
dust, not getting enough rest, and trying to, Steve here's really been pushing himself this week and doing a great job. But it takes a lot out of you. It's the first time you're doing all the stuff that you're doing. So I'm gonna give you the props.
We're really gonna get him involved next year. Now he's getting primed this year. So.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So, well, today is the final day of the Meade County Fair 2024 style. And David is here with us once again, as we always like to try to bring what's going on at the fair, let you guys know a little bit what's happening, what's already happened, maybe this is a little bit of a recap for this week. So, David, what do you think about today? Where are we at? I mean,
well, let's wrap up last night, and we'll jump into today.
Sounds good.
80-something hookups.
Everybody said the schedule says rides and truck and tractor pull. But we were here to 1 a.m.
1 a.m.
81 hooks.
81.
That means how
81.
many vehicles you have. And if you go back in our pit area, there's not 5 inches of space that's not being utilized. So
yeah, because all those trucks from all the hooks from last night are here tonight. Now, did any more come in?
We had 1 leave, 2 more came in.
So you're at 83, 82.
It'll probably be, it depends on, some of those trucks got 3 and 4 trucks in them. So it could be 85, but we're going to do something different. We've been talking about for years. We're actually going to take what's called a telehandler, and we're putting a piece on the front of that. And we have a gentleman that's done this in the past. He will actually pick those tractors up from where they measure the hitch, and he'll put them on the sled. Instead of them going way down the track and backing in, he will pull in, pull out, back them right in, set them down. That way, they're claiming it'll take an hour off the pool.
Wow.
We'll see.
Well, I mean, did y'all do that last night? Or
No, this will be the first. That's
well, 1 a.m. still wasn't bad for 81 hooks.
Oh, I envisioned us being here at about 2:30.
Yeah, that's what I was in the same. I mean, I really have nothing to do with the truck and tractor pull aside from being a spectator and liking ticket sales. But I've learned over the years about what it means when you say you have 81 hooks. That's a wee hour of the morning type of event.
We normally average 58 to 64.
Right.
And the 20 more on that is really unreal. But it went well. Everything. We've got a great team on our truck tractor pull. People have been here for years. The good thing is they know how to get them in, how to get them out. We have a brand new NTPA site guy, and he worked with us this morning. They usually do a scorecard with us of this, that. He said, I don't need to be telling you all what you're doing right and wrong because you all do it right.
Oh, well, good.
I think I talked about that. The judges from the teen and preteen sent a text to the pageant directors and said, it's really great to see community. And so, that's something you wait to hear is people that really enjoy to hear
because they get it.
Yeah.
They get it. That means what you're doing as a fair board, as a community, as what we're doing as a community,
all right.
Everybody's getting it and everybody's taking part in it, and it's awesome to feel that and know that it's coming across that way.
We're kind of like keepers of the key. The 10 fair board members coordinate, but we're dead in the water without our community. I mean, truthfully. It's just that way. And you just looked down there last night. I bet there was 25 workers down there on the track last night. And like I talked about the other day, the ones in the background that you don't even see are the ones that are, to me, they give up the whole fair to be back there lining up tractors. And we actually on Tuesday started, we used Michael O'Reilly with Smith Engineering. We laid out a layout for the pit area. We added on. and it worked flawless like yesterday.
I mean, you got 84 hooks back there, but it didn't
for
feel
60 semis.
It did not feel any more dense than it has in the past. So,
but it went.
That's kudos to
from
the team.
It went through the whole gravel, up the hill, out into the grass. We've got about a dozen parked in the parking, and so it's just amazing. And everybody and the NTPA guys did a great job helping us to get it in.
Now this is a Grand National event, right?
Yes.
Not a regional. It's a Grand National event, right?
Yes,
so
we're one step below the biggest one there is. So we feel very comfortable that what we do is really good and what we're able to pull off. And I'm going to brag on somebody else on a different note for this morning. The lady right across the aisleway here, Susan Stewart over there.
Yeah.
She coordinates our pedal pull. And we've been using the same gentleman. It's called Play and Hooky for a while, and he comes to us from out around Evansville. And this morning he told us it was the largest pedal pull crowd he'd ever seen, ever. And he does a lot of them. I bet we put 3 sets of bleachers, and I bet there was 300 people in lawn chairs and stuff.
In the show,
the Fred Sykes barn.
Yeah.
And the thing about it in there, somebody said, well, the kids would like it down in the arena. Well, the grandparents and parents want to be in that shade and the fans on.
Yeah.
So it's a perfect spot. Everybody's right. They're cheering for the kids. And that kids goes all the way to adults. And as soon as he finished that, he does his state championship pull here. He loves the venue and the people can come. And Susan coordinates that for us. But the morning started off strong with our pet and dog show. Big crowd. We felt like, it went off really well for us, and it's a great start. When we've had the baby contest was a huge crowd up there for that, always is. There might be a mother or two mad right now because there's Precious didn't win, but I tell them all it's only the eyes of the beholder for the day.
Okay, so I do have to say this. I did not want to be one of those judges. So I tell some mother that your baby is ugly. I mean, if you're not voting for him, that's just the implication.
They're not saying that the baby's ugly.
but they're not pretty
saying
enough to be
they're not
number
pretty
one.
enough to be number one. That's the same thing in the mother's eyes.
Don't want to be in that. So they literally came over to the booth, and I was like, you guys might have to do this if it's a tie.
Did you notice they didn't give any results till the very end?
Yes.
They had to give the judges a head start to get out of town.
Yes. Well, I did get good photos of all of them, and then we got them to fit all across the stage and got one big photo.
Really?
So it was
And that's like the rest of it. We had the battery-powered pool. I don't know if you've ever watched that. It's like the Barbie dream cars and things like that.
Yeah.
So the rides will open early today at 4 p.m. And we've
just
had
about
a lot
half
of
an hour
people
or so,
telling
right?
us they've now seen a better carnival than what we have here. And this is the group. In 2 weeks they'll be at the Kentucky State Fair. That's who the producer is for the rides there. So we're pleased that we had them first. Now they've come.
Yeah.
We actually had 3 fair boards here yesterday and the day before. Just coming to tour or see what it is. We tell everybody it's not rocket science or private stuff.
But it is expertise over time.
Well,
once you do something, you get it, you work it. That's what sets you guys, sets us, or the I don't know how to say it, but that sets the Meade County Fair apart is the fact that you learn from each year, and next year you make it a little bit better. You don't have to go in and invest tons of money all at once. You can take some time and let things build over the years, and make sure that people have the experience. Thank you. That we want them to have, which is fun and community and family, and we want all that to come out across, and it does.
The one thing that was really yesterday afternoon, the Kentucky State Fair came to visit. You don't normally hear that, but we had 2 of the gentlemen that worked there that put a lot of their expositions together, and they came down to see our equipment, some of our watering tanks, our pens. They wanted to look at some of our bleacher systems, and now they're really interested in us helping them with State Fair. Anything we can do to help that helps us. And because we send last year I think in the championship drive at the end of the fair, I think we had like 25 kids in that championship drive, and to me that was with animals and stuff. And we represent Meade County well at the state fair, and that means a lot to me. And the fact that we've given them the opportunities to continue and to do some more with their animals and things. And it's humbling that when people come, and like I said, on Wednesday we had the Commissioner of Agriculture here, toured him around, and all he could say was, I've heard about this fair, and I finally got to see it. Then I said, well, you're seeing it was dead. It was early Wednesday morning. There was nothing going on.
Yeah.
And he got to go in our home and garden building. And if you haven't been in that building, if you're coming to the fair today, it's worth the 15 minutes of time to go through that building.
See all those crafts.
Oh, it's unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, people put a lot of time, a lot of their heart into those crafts and those different projects, and there's a little bit of pride to taking home the blue ribbon. And but you were like Wednesday, we were talking about the athletic competitions, and you had you said you got like $3 for first place and a ribbon. And and kids holding up that $3 and that blue ribbon and see them on Facebook and things. It's priceless.
And we gave away $2,000 a dollar at a time. But we did mess up on one thing. Kissel had asked, instead of the rides opening at 3 to give them, because we run special needs day that they do early, could we open at 4? Well, it's kind of a mess up, I think, in the fact most of the families didn't want to wait for an hour to go ride rides, and they left. So we have worked that out for next year's. We'll be back to the 3 o'clock start on Wednesday.
I was thinking, you either do that or you move the events up out an hour or something like that, right?
Oh, we want it right in the heat of the day, right at noon. So
noon.
It was a big deal moving it back to the main arena. People loved it, and there is shade. That's the one thing people really liked. There was trees and barns and stuff you could wait in until it was your turn. And Gary Whalen and his crew do a great job with that. I mean, normally we probably get by with about $200, but Gary will do like 5-year-olds 40-yard dash and 12 kids in it. He said, all time first place, so we give first place to 12 kids. But but our whole goal with that is to all the folks you get to come.
Right.
And, if you get that instilled that they've had a great time, they family plans that it's a family outing on those Wednesdays, and it's a family outing on Saturday morning because it's family's time. They bring their dogs. They bring. I bet there was a half a dozen goats shown this morning.
Yeah, let's talk about what's going on. What happened this morning. So this morning, I don't have the book in front of me. Let me see what you have there. So we had the pet and dog show at 9 a.m., the baby contest, which you all talked about, the draft horse and mule show. That's another one that a lot of people. That's more probably more of the traditional.
Yeah, it is. Been here for years.
And you don't. That's another thing about the Meade County Fair is these things don't go away.
No.
It's you may add some things, but these traditional things are still very much part of the community. The pedal pool, which you talked about with Susan, and then the children's mini truck pool. Rides start at 4 o'clock tonight. At 5:30 p.m. in the community building, Prince and Princess, Meade County. That pageant will be going on. Then at 7 p.m. You'll have the Little Mr. and Miss Meade County Fair, and then you'll have again the second round of NTPA truck and tractor pull. I noticed this. I've been working with things with the fair for quite a while now, and one thing that never really occurred to me was that the Battle of the Bluegrass is more of a truck pull with a couple of tractor classes,
right?
And NTPA is a tractor pull with a truck class.
Yep,
it's kind of the way.
It's a mixture, but if you'll see Battle of Bluegrass, they run a lot more diesel trucks.
Right.
And there are only 2 truck classes for NTPA: 4-wheel drive modified and the 2-wheel drive.
Right. We do 2-wheel drive
we
here,
flip-flop. We flip every year. Last year's 4-wheel drive. This year's 2-wheel drive.
Right.
So, it's a lot. And when we say 2-wheel drive, there's 37 of them here that pulled last night, and they're the NTPA, and this people don't think about this, but they time themselves. They want to have a pull every 2.5 minutes.
Wow.
And that's moving if you're doing that. And when you're doing 81 hooks, that's still a long time, you know.
That's a lot of time.
You do that. So,
I mean, you're looking at 3 hours and 45 minutes or so.
We started
just at 2.5 minutes.
7 p.m. I mean, it was right on the money. Took off.
I remember the first time I heard the truck because I wasn't out there. We were in here in the booths, and I heard the first one go off. I was like, oh, and it was like right at 7.
And then we had. At 1 a.m. we were done. So, you know.
Oh, wait,
last year y'all went to 3. Last year y'all went to 3 in the morning, you said.
Yeah, it was
I didn't make it. I did not make it to 1 o'clock in the morning. I left much earlier, but we could hear them at the house.
You could hear them anywhere in Meade County, I think.
We could hear. I mean, they're so loud. They're so loud. Or some of them are so loud that it sounds like it's right outside your door.
If anybody calls and says anything, we say it's Fort Knox training.
Yeah.
Well, pretty soon you will.
For years, that was a good excuse, right?
Sound of Freedom will be coming back soon.
But like I said, we've had crews here working since early this morning, changing things. That's the one thing most people don't think about. We work all day on Monday morning setting up.
Yeah.
We have the event on Monday night. Tuesday morning we tear down what we did on Monday, set up for Tuesday. Wednesday morning we tear down Tuesday, set up Wednesday. It's just vice.
And people look at the arena like it's just a bunch of dirt, but excuse me, that dirt has to be in a certain shape and a certain depth and a certain
the width, the moisture.
There's a lot that goes into it. So
we've been massaging that for the last 2 hours or about longer.
Well, I mean, even when you get rain overnight, and then some people have a question, well, I just saw them take a water truck down it. Well, I mean, that's one, it drains. It's meant to drain well. Yep. But then at the same time, you have to have the right content. So, if you guys ever come out to a truck or tractor pull, you'll see them going down with, I can't remember what they're called, but basically they're just going down and checking the depth.
Poking sticks is what they are, yeah.
And they just go and poke through. They just go down and poke down through the track to see how deep the top layer of track is.
I think I addressed this earlier in one of our talks, and we have done a really good job. And this year, safety has become a real priority after the incident that happened in Hardin County. But we worked hard. We met to every driver's meeting. We meet with the driver. We do with the track prepper. We do the drivers, and I do all the workers. Everybody drives a tractor, hooks a rope, hooks a chain. We meet with them and tell them that extra second you saved isn't worth cutting a corner. So we've actually asked them to slow down, take their time. We're not in a rush. I mean, if it went to 1:30, what difference would that have made this morning?
Not for a half hour. For somebody's life.
It's really done well.
I just want to say on behalf of the Messenger and Meade Media Group, I've had a fantastic time this whole week. I've had a fantastic time getting ready for this week and all of the work going into
since March.
Since March, but just even having the relationship to get to do the fair catalog, and I've heard nothing but compliments about the fair catalog. It's truly been fun, exciting, and honorable. You know what I mean? To give this back to the community is why I signed on for all this. You know what I mean?
It's a great pride when you know you turn out a product.
That's right.
And I tell people, you do have some people that get on Facebook and things like that. We don't worry about those things. I mean, we do our best for the most. And,
that's right.
Our whole goals is, I think y'all remember on Tuesday I said, please be patient with us. It's a learning curve for us as much as anything. And our first rodeo, we thought it was a huge success.
I thought so.
We've got improvements
There
to
were
make,
great events, great contestants.
Right.
The crowd was phenomenal. Some learning going on there for next time, and hopefully, I would like to see it to be a one or two, another like a 2-day event.
Yeah.
I think there'll be
we are looking at a lot of those avenues, and another thing, really when you get those judges that are not from here send you text a message or telling you an email how good it is, people come over to you, and there was one of our fair board members, his daughter lives in Paducah in that area. Brought 2 of her friends up, and they were just cutting up with us, and I was talking with them, and this one of them said, "How do you keep this place so clean?" You know, and it's one of our goals, you know, and we want it to be that where people can enjoy it, number one, and so be the rest of it. So
very good.
I mean, you know, you see these like, you know, we should do a YouTube video behind the scenes of, you know, who's cleaning up. And, yeah, I've seen those for like Disneyland, Disney World, stuff like that. It's like the people you don't see and the way they move garbage and stuff around. You know, it's nothing that elaborate. It's right. It's not like they have underground, you know, garbage tunnels and stuff like Disney does. But you know, you have lots of people who are working on these things to get these things.
Scarborough, the jail. I mean, Ernie, the guy who's oversees the inmates, and I tell you, that's what makes this humbling is the fact those guys take great pride in coming out and cleaning us up, helping us with every event, and we couldn't do it without them. And I mean, that's a fact that, you know, it'd be so hard to do it without everybody being a part. And just when you called, it's been a tough week out there. I don't know what we're going to have to work on. We got a couple of toilets with issues. I mean, I'm plunging the toilet when Mark calls. We're ready to go.
Okay.
So, you know, and that's,
I mean, it's
not glorious for all this. And
he did ask me if we wanted to come help. I declined. I'm sorry, I declined.
I would have jumped right in.
The first one was at breakfast this morning. So nothing like starting your day off. And the other thing is, I want to talk about it now. Where you are, as I've said many times, and this is such a pleasure to come, and I'm sorry I've had to shortchange you a little bit on a couple of days.
We've been so busy ourselves, and you know, it's a busy week for all of us, and it's 10 times more busy for you. So we know that.
I definitely learned how to put this schedule together next year because I bit off a lot, but I'm excited about what I bit off because it's never been recorded before. And all those families get to go back and watch their little girls, and those little girls get to watch this 20 years from now when they show their kids. You know what I mean?
That's right, grandchildren.
So I'm excited, and it will get better every year as long as y'all keep having me back. So.
Well, I think it went well. You know, like I said, we've had very little. And one other group I want to thank are those ones that defend us on Facebook and stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
there you go.
Several. It's kind of humbling when you see that many people step up. You know, like I told y'all earlier, we never want to raise the price. Our financials dictate those, and our gate price at 15. I mean, we've almost 7,000 people a night.
I'll say this: still to this day, people who come that aren't necessarily from around here. You know, it's one of those things.
It's cheaper than a movie ticket.
Still, I mean, you go to
8 hours of entertainment.
If you went to the movies, it would cost you, you know, with popcorn and everything, $20-25. You get in here, you get all the rides, you get all the shows.
Per person,
$15 is a bargain. Most people that you know, the people that came from like Fort Knox and stuff that came through, they look at this from where they're from. They're spending $20-25 to get in, and they still have to buy ride tickets.
One of those girls this morning said, well, our fare is $10 to get in, $15 to
ride rides.
Go to the event, and then to ride rides, it's another $20.
Yeah, so. And we were talking to one of the gentlemen from Harrison County yesterday, and they said their fare, it's free to get in, but then you have to pay for everything, every event, and it's like $15 to see an event. It's you know, you go $25 to get the ride, the ride bracelet.
And we worked with two of their groups that were here, and they just spent. I don't know if you ever noticed, they used to have a great big grandstand, covered grandstand, and they actually tore it down, sold some of the seating out of it, and they bought a new one. It was new to them, but it was from a race car. And the problem was the racetrack, the way it was designed, wasn't the best layout for a flat surface because it was made for the curve. They got about $4 million in, and they still didn't work.
You want to know what I think I like about Kissel Entertainment this year? That big tent with all of those bleachers and the seats underneath that.
That's been a big hit.
I could tell my wife where to meet me and not have to try to name the ride or what it's next to. You could just say, meet me at the big tent in the middle of Kissel.
The funniest thing about that the owners of that are Kissel Entertainment are Russell and Tammy Kissel.
Yeah.
Well, they've got 3 daughters, and they have some nieces, nephews that are on the circuit. And this has probably been 10 years ago. We had a big storm coming up. We could see it. We were getting warnings. We warned the Kissel because they tie off some big rides when they have extra stuff. But I called him and told him in advance, well, I look out, every one of his kids are on a pole sitting on the ground to hold that tent. And then the wife was having a meltdown. Russell, get those kids off those.
Yeah, no
kidding.
kidding. That's funny.
Like everything, but those kids weighed 40 pounds.
Yeah,
maybe.
it would have ripped them out.
Yeah, it really would have made a
like
difference.
pulling a weed out of a garden.
But they were jumping in.
They
were doing
family
what they can do.
Well, like I started to say, thank you all for what this podcast does to a lot of people. Get to hear stuff they don't. And
if nothing else,
we'd like to answer some inside questions that they've got, and maybe that follow-up this when we get our numbers. Maybe we can put it out enough that people want to call in and ask. No, we don't go to Hawaii when the fair's over. No, we don't pay anybody.
It's expensive.
You just put on another hat and go do something, and then you put this hat back on next week. Get ready for next year.
It's not cheap to pay a rodeo to come out and entertain. It's not cheap to pay a band. It's not cheap to have NTSSB. It's not cheap to have the guy that comes to that as a tractor pull. And it's not cheap to have a lot of these other things, including the lights on and power.
Normally when I ask people that question, what do you think this costs?
Yeah.
They aren't within $50,000 of it most of the time.
Yeah. It does cost a lot of money.
Expenses. And, the temperature's been good, but lights running, parking lot lights running.
Bands, all this stuff at every booth.
It's everybody. And we want it to be. In these buildings, we've got 90 spaces, and I think 87 of them are full. So it makes all the difference in the world.
I just want to give one more shout out. I had Todd Blackburn on earlier this week. Meade County RECC is the power provider here, and they do a great job making sure the lights stay on. So thanks to Meade County RECC.
I mean, you think about all the folks that are out here, all the booths. And maybe next year, Steve, maybe we should put up a graphic of all the people who've signed up for a booth, just to give them one shout out.
That's the thing.
At the beginning of the
waiting list.
I know.
People line up early that we want to be a part, and we have people that come in the fairs. They said, "We've never seen something like this," and I said, "It's not." And this is very economical for people to come here.
This booth does not cost tons of money.
$50 is what the booth costs, and you get 2 passes. What makes it go? It's the total cost. It's not big money, and we don't want a big exorbitant price where we couldn't have people. They can't sell anything. They can't raffle anything. All it is for people to put in for a drawing, but it's actually just to put their information out there.
It's good marketing.
Yeah, because we have people asking us about some of the stuff at our gear, and I'm not going to get into what gear it is and all that stuff, but we say we're not selling it here. We're just letting you know it exists. You can sign up right here. We'll contact you after the fair.
Right.
It's just, and that's what everybody's doing. It's about getting out of the community, contributing back, giving a little bit to the fair. But at the same time, you're hoping that people will come and shop with you.
And we did that for a reason. It is expensive for a family of 4 to come here.
That's right.
But the thing is, there's nothing worse than a mom and a dad, 2 younger people, and they see something, and somebody's wanting you to buy something.
And then you have 50, 60 people.
You don't want that pressure on that person.
They get 2 down and we're out of money and get nothing for you to eat.
I'm with you. And I agree with it wholeheartedly. It's just and we're still making the contact.
Right.
That's the point. We're still making the contact with people that want that. That are interested, and then now we follow up, right? And it works out for all of us. We pay for the spots and stuff. So, I guess we're at the end again.
We are. I want to say one thing. Early sign-ups for next year's fair catalog. A lot of people were very impressed. If you want to come by and see us at the Messenger booth, you can do that for early sign-ups for next year's fair catalog. If you feel like you got left out, I'm sorry. We did make a lot of phone calls, and it's a flat rate. So it's to put that catalog and that type of product out. It is not cheap, just like everything else.
More than that, you get
the schedule.
Digital copies are out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. It's out there, and a lot of people. It's so easy for us to reference where it is.
Absolutely. You have been carrying one around all week with all your markups, and a lot of people have been too.
That's my reference points for next year. But again, guys, thank you all.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
David. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks for allowing us to come do this with you.
Thanks for doing the catalog on behalf of the fair.
Oh, listen,
thank you.
My pleasure, and thanks for allowing us to break new territory with digital and help get the word out this year.
We'll see y'all
tomorrow
morning when we start cleaning up. Come see us.
All right, we will. Yeah.
I'll definitely be over here breaking down booths tomorrow for sure.
Right after church.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.